Why are you looking so scruffy and so dirty and like a hobo? We know you from friends like these. Sikumbulu fresh, clean, shy Jewish. You know, all polishegile. Why man you use cottons, Buddha? What's happening?
Jeez.
Man you use cotton no kogi ingube gray. Ezokulala.
This is the Hustler's Corner.
Slap bang middle of the month, the 15th of August 2022. Good afternoon, hustlers and squatters, brothers and sisters. Another episode on a Monday afternoon, 12 o'clock. I like the fact that we drop at 12 midday. Guys, go straight to the sharp sign as usual. That's tradition. Let's click that like button on the count of 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Click. Thank you very much, guys. Let's click the subscription button as well. So you become a part of the family. Click. Thank you. Switch on the notification bell. I have to emphasize on switching on the notification bell because it gives us percentages to say there's only 12% of people who've got their notification bells on, which means they're not aware when we drop videos.
They have to go out and search.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it's on, then you are aware and then it increases our views and then you also don't miss videos. So that's why we encourage you to do that. And then lastly, we encourage you as well, if you think you're getting good content here and it's value for money, you can join and become a monthly paying member. Thank you very much. We've just reached 100 monthly paying members, which is very humbling. We're working for you guys. You guys keep our lights on and we will keep on improving the podcast. Talking about improving the podcast, very soon we will be migrating all of this virtual Mkhukhu content onto the virtual Mkhukhu channel. So click on the link on the description. There's a virtual Mkhukhu channel there. We want you guys to become a part of the family. Still on the links there is a link that takes you to my YouTube channel. There's a link that takes you to Penuel's YouTube channel, Penuel's YouTube show. There's a link that takes you to Ekasi Noble Property Development, real estate opportunities. There is also a link that takes you to Mofire merchandise. And there's also another link that takes you to cryptocurrency education. Learn crypto. We've just collaborated with cryptouniversity.co.za to offer free cryptocurrency education. And we'd like to say thank you very much to the people that are paying for it, which is Yellow Card. So Yellow Card, thank you for paying for Learn Crypto so people can study Mahal. And shout out to our brother, Great Jabesi. It's good to have you back. It's been a while.
Spura, thank you so much. Always happy to be here, Mkhukhu. I hope as time goes on, we don't lose what we have here. I know you come from a very professional, formal background. And one of the things I'm always cognizant of is the fear that we end up becoming too formal and too professional here. Whereas abantu still want to feel like Basem Mkhukhu. Bafunas relax. I know they've attacked you for Ugu Dlalana. And I'm hoping as time goes on, we earn the license to be able to eat, kulege, so that people really feel comfortable as well. But I'm happy to be here. I also implore a lot of our squatters, a lot of our hustlers to join as members. Not only does it allow us to fund the production here, but it allows us to create jobs, which I think is pretty cool. And not only to people that are going to join as members to allow us to create jobs for a crew in the back.
Yeah.
I also implore a lot of companies like a Yellow Card with Cryptoversity or Crypto University. I implore a lot of people with companies, small businesses, it doesn't matter. If they can find a way to sponsor and advertise on our platform, we can find ways, especially because you're a big proponent of local and buy local. They can give us their stuff to wear. They can give us some of their products. We've had sneakers here. We've had other brands. And they can also help them grow and also help us to build this platform into something special.
That's exactly what Virtual Mkhukhu is for. And very soon in the next couple of months, we'll have a different set for Virtual Mkhukhu. Because for now, a lot of people, when they see it, they just think it's Hustler's Corner.
Yeah.
So I think Kangan we must give it its own identity.
Yeah. That's where the whole term came from. Sasquatile Virtual Mkhukhu. Sangengile la simbungulu. Skudi is nice Joma fela. So yeah, hopefully soon we still have to be the Virtual Mkhukhu, but we're going to move to our virtual mansion.
Yeah.
At some point, so people can see which I know sis upgrade.
Big up, guys. It's been a lot has been happening.
Yeah.
I think the first thing, let's start with your episode on Podcast and Chill.
Oh,
big
snap. Again, a big shout out to yourself. A big shout out to MacGyver and Usolomzi. Two very beautiful human beings, man. And I got a chance to meet the ghost lady. There was a short video I took there. She was like, hey, ungangifaki mina, abanbangangbone. And I was like, no. Amazing woman. I don't want to speak much about her. Amazing crew at the back. Abo Aya. People know Aya who does their sound and some of the other guys in the back. I was so excited to be there. especially after they had come to visit us. It was only the right thing to do. You visited there more than once.
Many times.
Literally, you're a friend, you're a family, you're a Grootman.
I was actually even there just now, even last week. We're recording a cryptocurrency episode with Gray.
With Gray and McIver.
McIver and Saul, yeah.
So, I mean, it was my first time visiting the guys. Very great. Again, shout out to David Mashabela and the King David Studios, where the guys shoot from as well. I was excited, man. And I think I want to thank because I saw in the comments, I read a lot of the comments. I know, I think you're way busier than me. I am less busy. I'm going to get busier, I guess, as time goes on. But for the fact that I still have time to read the comments, so many virtual squatters, so many hustlers went to go and watch that episode because they watch us here. There are people that were saying, I've never really watched Podcast and Chill, or I've never really been a fan because sometimes it trends for the wrong reasons. But because I know you guys, I was like, no, let me go and listen to Penuel, the Black Pen. You know, it wasn't a typical episode. I think for a lot of the chillers, you're a chiller, I'm a chiller. For a lot of the chillers, it wasn't a typical episode because I was going there to drop the same educational fire we drop here every single week. And a lot of people were like, fuck. So I'm hoping, I've seen on my channel, Penuel the Black Pen, a lot of the chillers have jumped on. And I'm hoping that with the virtual Mkhukhu, with the Hustlers Corner, a lot of the chillers also want to come here and we're going to build one great platform, one great community for all of us. So just as a summary, I had a good time. I tried to educate. I tried to represent us as best as I could. I swore a lot, and I'd like to apologize, man. I swear. I don't fucking care. Swearing is whatever. But I think I overdid it in the beginning. It got better towards the end, but I'm going to do better because I wasn't happy listening to it again. And outside of that, I had a good time, and I'm looking forward to continuing to build with the guys, you know, and to put each other on and to elevate each other so that we can all win. Because one of the things you and I have pushed that the squatters and the hustlers are getting is we can win with collaboration. We don't always have to compete. There's a time for competition, and the competition must be healthy, but there's a time, and right now is the best time for collaboration.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what I just said even now on the episode with Gray, McIver, and Saul. As we're recording at M Studios,
Sure.
Collaboration and not competition. And I thank them for showing us love on their platform, for having you on.
Yeah.
I thank them again for coming on. And we're also just reflecting about what has happened since they came on here. And they were just sharing some positive things that have happened on their platform. And I was also just thanking them and telling them of the positive things that have happened to our platform as well since they've been here. And I'm sure since you were also there, you sort of got some more positivity from the chillers because Abu McIver, they are with an army of supporters.
It's a cult following.
Yeah, I don't want to call them a cult, but it's a following.
Their chillers are very loyal, aggressively. No more guys,
Yeah, but in a positive way.
In a very positive way.
You know, so as soon as you go into that ecosystem of the podcast and chill, you get overwhelmed by this love from the chillers.
Yeah.
You even see the numbers when they come show you that love on your own platforms.
Yeah.
Wow, this literally is because of Abu McIver.
Yeah.
And I was just telling them that and appreciating them for that. And I like the fact that we are all in sync with the guys mentally.
Yeah.
We are about collaboration and not competition on this internet space. And we are all here to build one another. And we are all here to form, I don't want to call it an alliance as if or as if we are forming a political party.
Sure.
But basically, we are forming friendships.
We are.
As opposed to us seeing other podcasts as competition. No. There is a space for everybody.
There is. I mean? And look, we've said it before. We don't necessarily agree with some of the content they post, some of the things they say, but we have the biggest respect for the fact that they have the right to say it and that they represent so many people out there who agree with them. And you're not going to find us here bashing them for what they said. We're like, we disagree, but they must say it. Because now if we shut them down, if they shut us down, we go back to the whole reason why we're here in the first place. It's because we want free speech. It's because we want people to be comfortable to say whatever they want, especially if it's incorrect, especially if it's destructive. Because you are free to say it and then we can now teach you. Oh, ntwana, no, listen, yabo mawushinte kanje bazokusuwa. No, ntwana mawushinte kanje ibrand yakhe izolimala. So sesiyafundisana. Which I know you want to say it and khuleka ntwana, but this is then what happens. Because some of us have maybe some experience, especially someone like you. Nami ngiyintwana, ngangifike ngikhulume ngithuka inhlamba, but I saw the ripple effect as I got older. So now I can recommend, be yourself, be free, but just keep in the back of your mind, do you know the consequences? So that after this, I'm probably going to lose brand deals, I'm going to get cancelled, I'm not going to be invited to stuff. And if your point you feel is that important, please say it. If you're like, no, I think I don't want to lose those things, then you're like, then rather don't say it. Siyafundisana. Sifuna ukukhula. This is what our elders were meant to and are supposed to do in our homes. And if some kids have absent parents, they were orphans, they don't have a good relationship with their parents, thina njengoba silana sizonikhulisa nathi guys ukuthi look uPenuel uthuka inhlamba kodwa at the same time uyahlonipha. You know, so ungayithuka inhlamba but ubuye uxolise. If umuntu uthi yabo inhlamba yakho ngizwisa ubhlungu, usho ukuthi hayi ngicela ukuxolisa kodwa this is who I am. I won't lose me, but for the purposes of this. Some people on certain platforms, they ask, why don't you speak about your religion? And I'm like, I don't think it's the right time. If you figure endaweni and bayakhonza, they Christian, Catholic, whatever the case may be, I can respect that. I'm not there to destroy. No, there's a time and place for me to criticize, and it mustn't be from a point of destruction, but from a point of trying to find each other. You know, the chillers, man. Shout out to the chillers, and I think shout out to us for the fact that on our platform, chillers got to actually see the value of joining as members and what that does for the channel. Chillers got to learn the importance of watching ads. You see it now in the comments where they say, guys, watch all the ads. Guys, join as members. Guys, this is how we make sure that the guys create. So shout out to all of us for collaboration, man.
No, I totally agree. And shout outs to that episode. I watched it. In the beginning, you were nervous.
You think so?
Yeah, you were nervous. That's number one. Number two, obviously I was gonna make the comment in Tlamba.
Yeah.
I kind of felt in the beginning you were too harsh in Tlamba, that I was afraid people might lose you focusing or concentrating on Intlamba.
Yeah.
They might actually
message.
lose the essence of who you are. That is what was worrying me in the beginning. And then I was like, okay, let me see where it goes. Over time, I'm sure they'll start getting him. And then I started listening to, and that's what I love about podcasts. Uguti, you don't get your train of thought disturbed by multiple questions that are just firing at you where you're not even able to address yourself properly.
And a short time.
Yeah, you know, usually
rush in 10
radio
minutes.
interviews are like that, and that's irritating. That's why people never really get to understand people properly and what they stand for and what they're about. Sure. You know, because we never really get a time to listen to somebody fully express themselves. And then I let it go, and then I was like, okay, no, I know it's still in the beginning. He'll chill, he'll relax, and he'll become himself. And I just want you for me, you know, because now I'm getting for me. Penuel representing
Sure.
represent, you know.
Sure.
And then you started getting into form, and then I think the guys started asking the questions that sort of brought out the best out of you.
Yeah.
Which was incredible. My only critic is just in Tlamba.
No,
number one. Number two, my other critic is, that's not even criticism. Just being nervous in the beginning. It's very natural. It happens to everyone on any platform. Sure. But I think maybe for me, maybe when I watch it, I might think it's nervousness, but maybe it was the unfamiliarity of the environment. You were there for the first time. You know, you're just still sitting, you're not used. But as soon as you're sitting, couple of minutes, you start going, you start warming up, and then you start opening up, and the type of questions, you know, that started coming your way, you started handling them your own way, and I kind of felt, no, the boy performed. You did a great job.
No, thank you. I didn't
watch 100% of it.
Sure.
I watched maybe, I would say, an hour.
Oh, that's long, because it was long.
Yeah, it was long. I think it was almost 2 hours, but I
Yeah.
watched about an hour 15 or an hour 10 around
Sure.
there. Yeah.
No, I don't think I was nervous. It was probably excitement, but I'm guessing how it reads on the screen was nerves, which is probably why I swore so much. You know, I'm very comfortable with Intlamba. I was raised on Tupac and hip hop, so. But I can also acknowledge at times when I feel certain things are too much for me. You know, we have to always self-introspect and self-criticize.
Yeah, it's important,
You know?
because I work with you. There's certain things where I'll even influence my moms or my family to watch you. And on that episode, luckily, I almost got my mom to check you out.
Sure.
But I was glad I didn't. because immediately my mom's senses were going to switch off.
Sure.
I'm glad I didn't.
Sure.
Because that's not how I would like for my mom to be introduced to my colleagues.
Hopefully she'll see some of the better clips, you know.
Yeah, no, she will. And I think she'll meet the person.
Sure. So I was very happy with the episode. I think it was very educational. MacGyver asked really amazing questions. Saul, the King Punisher, the King of Puns, was in his top form. A lot of people criticized him for being drunk.
But I was having fun, right?
Guys were just having a good time.
Oh, and by the way, guys, the guys record on weekends. So don't be hard on them and thinking, why is Saul being drunk on a Monday? No.
It's not
on a Thursday. It's not a Monday. They record most of their episodes on weekends.
Yeah.
So understand, it's weekends you can drink.
No, of course. But yeah, man, I think I'll just say that what's been interesting for me, just on speaking about Saul, has been the criticisms since he's joined Dikaya FM with Dineo Ranaka. As I said, and you said you don't want to use this cult following term, the chillers listen to Kaya FM because of Saul, and anything Dineo does, says, anyway they feel Saul is being bullied, they go hard. Because I put my newspaper articles, know? And maybe it's a lesson. I don't know if it's a lesson necessarily for Saul himself. It's a lesson for all of us. We need to find ways to send out strong messages to people that are our followers and our fans and our supporters to understand certain things. Dineo is an icon and a heavyweight and a veteran in radio. She's a big deal. Saul has got a great career in radio himself. It seems the deal that was made was Dineo was going to be the lead on the show and Saul is coming as a support. Similar to you running the Hustlers Corner and me coming as a guest. Or even when we started the virtual Mkhukhu, why is it always Sbus saying, guys, welcome to the Wagner Kulumu Pen? You are the anchor and then I come as the support. In doing that, I also need to earn my dues and it takes time. So guys, mhlampe niyangazi, niyangbuka ngikhuluma on my own platforms and say whatever, but Melen understand that there's a time and a place for everything. The way you speak ekhaya is not the way you speak Espanini, is not the way you speak Eskele. So Saul, njobe lethiwe, yes, he's working with Dineo. Of course, they are both heavyweights in their own right. But Dineo is the lead and Saul is the support. So lento nijwayele mhlampe ku-podcast and chila ngeke nibone lapha. Number one. And number two, it's also just a different platform with a different culture. That's why mawuzobuka uPenuel eyedwa. No, but uPenuel goes hard on the politicians. Mangiyedwa. Makhona politician la, I also changed to respect the space. It's just common courtesy and reading the room. So I think kumele nathi sifunde if you're going to see me on another platform. And maybe we can touch on the interview with Duduzane Zuma because I want to speak about that. Depending on the platform, there's a time and a place for everything. And melu hloniphe umthetho at the place. And then over time, you will earn the license. As much as utumile la uqhamuka khona ngokujiva, lana mhlambe kuyaculwa. And yes, uyakwazi ukucula, but ungafika usuzoshaya isolo, hlonipha ukuthi guys nami ngizocula kancane kancane, allow me. And mhlambe kumele nginifundise nani ukuthi guys, there's just a time and a place for that. So that the biggest thing that we don't want, you don't want to destroy relationships, internal relationships. I don't know if you allow me to tell a little story.
No, definitely tell the story.
So we're a very political country and we're very racially sensitive. I come from a background of rugby. I've been playing and living and breathing rugby since I was a kid until late varsity. When Usiamthanda Kolisi became captain of the Springboks, officially, the first captain of the Springboks was Uchilipo Ralepele from Pretoria Boys High. And then officially it became Usiamthanda Kolisi from Grey High and the Eastern Cape. A lot of us black rugby players who had felt racism, who had been in quotas, there was a multitude of emotions in that whole thing, but we were proud. And Usiamthanda is not a coconut. You won't hear him, yes, sir, so what I was thinking is, I'm really proud of the boy. Outie, he's from Epai, outie from Ekasi. So we were very happy. So the first trigger was the fact that he's got a white wife, Rachel, amazing lady. They've got a great marriage, a great union. And then a lot of us were waiting for him to be like Ebantu Bigo, Robert Sobugwe of rugby. We wanted him to be an activist. And that's not why he was there. So when he was asked in Japan, how do you feel about quotas? And he's like, I don't like them. It makes me as a competent black player feel less than. like I'm here because of tick boxes. I don't think Mandela would have liked this. And some of us got touched because we were like, the only reason Ipun would select us was because of quotas, even though we were good enough. So I got touched, and later on I had a conversation with an ex-Springbok, amazing gent, Kobani Bobo. And he was explaining how important it is to protect all the boys. And by all the boys, he didn't mean all the black boys in the Springboks. He was speaking about all the Springboks. These are teammates who are together every day. Baya gym together, baya adla together, they visit each other, they play with each other on the field. They have to protect each other on the field. And when these external things come in, now I'm like, oh, when I'm a black player, Sekfigi Punu saying, yeah, the Puru said, why are you laughing with the black guy in the team? You bring toxicity into the Springboks. And you also need to remember, which I had to remind myself, Siamtanda Kolisi never grew up saying, I want to be a politician or an activist. He loved rugby. He happened to be a black rugby player in a racially sensitive country. So when he became captain, some of us wanted him to be a politician, but he's not. So if he's like, no, I want to thank all the boys, even it's a bit, Peter Steph Tuto, you're like, hey, fuck, I'm up. He doesn't see that because, he doesn't know me from a bar of soap. But because I share black skin, I think now he must. That's not how the real world works. I'm saying this because with Usol, not Dineo, these guys have to work together every day. They have to travel together. They need to build a good relationship. Now, maybe you have good intentions as a chiller to come and offer. I think Dineo must give Saul more of a chance. You know, you can give constructive criticism, always, because we can all learn. But you must be careful to just not destroy. And I'm saying this because you and I have got multiple platforms now, which I think privately you and I must actually discuss if it's a good thing or potentially a bad thing. I've got my platform, Penuel, the Black Pen. You've got DJ Sbus Live. You've got the Hustlers Corner. We both have the virtual Mkhukhu. And now I've gone and I've created the Penuel show. Isn't they ning? It's like, manja SARS, manja CRP. And some of the people, because squatters are intelligent, hustlers are intelligent, they're like, is this not going to mess up the relationship? How is this going to affect the virtual Mkhukhu and? These are fair things to think about, to consider. But some of the comments that you hear, some of the comments I've heard from real people that I meet, I got to Sbus, what. I have to take a step back and be like, this is how people destroy relationships, being a bone. Because if I'm going to take people saying, hey, pelukati, pelosbu, badli, malzo, zahara, umkatusbu, mashaya shaya, if I internalize that, I'm going to bring that here. Now I'm sitting here with you and I've got a hidden agenda. Clapping for destroy a land or why is begging more fire? We destroy our brotherhood, which actually started on good intentions. It started out with you reaching out a hand to me, Ni and Tuana, that's also trying to come up. And now they've destroyed a good thing. They're not here. They're not dealing with the struggles. They're not traveling. They're not knowing what pressures we're under. We try to explain some of them, but you know, so it's very important for the chillers, for the squatters, for the hustlers. Constructive criticism, and again, feel free to speak your mind, guys. Some of us, I think, have the maturity to understand and the experience. But just remember that also try and protect relationships as far as possible. When you're criticizing Sbus doesn't let you pen speak. Try and remember that these guys are also building a relationship. So speak to Sbus. We've seen Jay-Z and Kanye, the external, how some people feel like. We've seen other relationships. We just need to be a bit more gentle. Dineo is a person, she's also got her own life, her own stresses. She's also trying to build something for herself. She's not there, I'd like to think, to be like, nothing, like I don't think that's what she's there for. You know what I mean? And if you look at her track record, she's got a personality that we know is strong. She's not behaving in a way we don't know. Same as with Dineo. We watch Keeping Up with the Ranakas, for example. But we need to protect them. They both need to be healthy. And if their relationship is not working, if the show itself is not really reaching the ratings, on a happy note. Not because people from outside with their little biases are coming into. Now if virtual Mkhukhu wheel, not because you and I actually disagree, but because people out there are like, why why you seven lentwane ekhuluma ngopenelism? Bazothina abantu abasontayo. Njoba ukhuluma ngoma wakho. Why manje uma wakho uzothina uletha awususe lentwana le? Fetch someone better, cleaner. And you need to be like, look, I think I hear you and you might be right. But let's do it in a good way where we protect us as people. Because life is long, man. Life is so long and you don't know when we'll need each other for what, where. We can disagree here. We don't like what we're doing here, but let's isolate it to this. Phela.
Yeah.
Sasa we can eat, sibe grand.
I totally agree. But also, if you listen to people too much,
Yes.
you'll get lost.
Fact.
Because people love different things. Let's go to the Duduzane Zuma episode, for instance. Oh, actually, even another episode of Panyaza Lesufi, where you were sick, you couldn't make it.
Yes.
There's other interviews where people feel it would have been greater if Penuel was there. There's other interviews where other people feel whichever way. And our interview styles are different.
Yes.
And our interests are different. And I guess that's why a lot of people believe we make a good team.
Sure.
Because we bring something different to the table, all of us together. But with that being said, what I've understood in broadcasting, in the beginning, I used to be that person who would want to go in on people, on interviews, not only just politicians. And even when it comes to politicians, I may not be as informed as you are, for instance,
Sure.
on politics. But I move differently. That's why I'm DJ Sbus.
Yes.
Let me put it that way.
Yes.
When I invite people to my platform, I'm not inviting people to attack them. And I want people to understand the invite comes from a sincere place.
Yes.
If I'm going to go in on you, or we are creating an environment, you and I as partners, to sort of go in on our guest, we will say, like at some point we wanted to. Unfortunately, I think Ubab Andile Mkhutama was too busy to come back at that time.
Yes.
We wanted him to come back.
And Mkhulu is as well.
And we had openly said it to the virtual squatters, Uguti, the next one will be a debate.
Yes.
And it's always nice when you let your guests know,
Yes.
Uguti, it'll be a debate format. These are the topics. Come prepared.
Don't ambush them.
Thank you. And I also understand the audience. I mean, the audience, yes. A lot of people are disgruntled. They want answers from politicians. So sometimes they do get irritated if you don't ask certain questions that they would like for you to ask.
Yes.
But equally so, there's somebody else actually who prefers the interview that way.
Yeah.
There's people, usually what I've learned with broadcasting is a lot of people prefer to hear people, especially in these podcast platforms. I've seen we want to give people a time to be able to fully express themselves.
Yes.
And I don't think they get a lot of that on radio or television platforms. So when they do come to podcasts, what I've seen with the audiences used to get irritated with me always jumping in and disturbing or many questions with guests. And people used to say to me, Sbus, ask a question and shut up.
Sure.
They used to say that over and over from the earlier episodes of the Hustlers Corner. If you go watch them I was a terrible interviewer.
Sure.
Because I was coming from radio.
Yeah.
I was used to time and I was used to...
I need to hit everything
Do you
now.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
But then people started saying, relax, Andota. Asindawo. Buza ma question uthule. Usinikeze ichance ukuthi simlalele lo muntu. Lo muntu abanye abantu answer umbuzo bazokunika icontext qala noma mhlambe ba round around. Lapho umuntu useye pointini wena soyavuma. Soyaza futhi.
Yeah.
Ngenye question umluzisa their train of thought. So I started seeing that a lot of people were not liking that.
Yeah.
So kancane I think with my own discipline as well. Ukuthi, let me start becoming a better broadcaster and let me start understanding that I'm not on mainstream here.
Yeah.
I can be myself.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started becoming that, I started seeing more and more people enjoy that.
Yes.
Ukuthi, yes, we want you to ask a question and then listen. Number two, one of the other things that I'll say with myself on the podcasting space is, I'm going to go back to the Duduzane Zuma interview, is from the beginning, I never prepare, Mina, for the podcast. I don't write questions down.
Yeah.
It's intentional because it's an authentically sincere conversation. Yamampela.
It's a conversation.
Angibhalanga anything phansi, angibhalanga any questions down. Yes, sometimes I'll grab my phone and I might just put in 3 bullet points or something to remind me of certain things.
Sure.
But a lot of the times I don't prepare. Why? Because ngifuna ibe as sincere as possible, and over a certain period of time, I would watch from the other side. Does that come out?
Sure.
Does it appear to people it's a sincere conversation? I'm not holding some script here.
You're not even listening to the guy.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that has worked.
Has to be authentic.
And what I've learned also, Penuel, is when something is not broken, don't fix it.
I hear you.
Virtual Mkhukhu is working. People seem to be liking this collaboration, for instance. we would be the ones to destroy it. You and I.
We're growing fast, by the way.
Is it fast?
I think we might be close to, if we're not already at 120,000 subscribers.
And it's
from
amazing.
like 40,000 at the beginning of the year.
It's amazing.
That's ridiculous.
It's amazing. It's a lot of love, and we appreciate it. And I think for me, it shows the internet traffic is growing, and the need for knowledge is growing, because in the beginning also with YouTube algorithms, it's difficult to build a platform.
Yeah.
But as you build it, some of you guys who've got pages out there, the more you build it, the easier it grows, or the quicker it grows.
There's a compounding effect of sorts.
Yeah, and also I think, Tina, because our channel from the beginning, it was an educational platform. It's not something that will trend, or it's not something about, you know what I mean? So it would really, really be difficult to grow it, because it's an educational platform. But it's grown. I guess people are appreciating the educational content, and I think we must go in more. But then let's go back to the Duduzane Zuma interview.
Before you speak about Duduzane, you're very right. Don't fix what's not broken. When I got here, I came with my own background and the way I do things. And people that had known me knew me for certain things. And I think I've said it on episodes before that I had to learn, when I first came as a guest, this is not my house. As much as I was a guest being interviewed, it's not my house. And I've spoken also about the different cultures that different podcasts have. And through you, because I'm an empath, I feel and I read the room very much. As much as I sometimes bring my personality strongly, but I try to read the room. And I learned very quickly, reading the comments from the squatters, taking the lead from you. Let's let people talk. Let's let people get their story out. And you gave me the comfort that if you have any other issues, so too, and you can raise them. Yes, the guest won't be here anymore, but hopefully they can come back. But whatever you have, don't worry, you'll get it out there. Yeah, but we've only got this person for maybe an hour. And they never have this type of opportunity, just keep. And we've been criticized. Aaron's Roots of AfriForum, maybe not so much Herman Mashaba. People love to Andile Mkhutama, of course. Duduzane Zuma, who we're going to speak about now. Some of the criticisms where people are like, but you didn't. And I'm echoing what you said, that people must feel comfortable to come here, especially if we've never met you. We don't know you from above, so if you don't know us, we still need to build that bond and that trust, so that when we call you back for a debate, these are good people. So even if they question me, it comes from a good place because they've treated me well before. And number two, they're probably going to add the disclaimer that these questions we're going to ask you maybe are not even from us, they're from the people out there. They're demanding these questions, and we're going to represent them. So please don't get angry at me, Upen, Sbu. I'm speaking on behalf of the people, but there's potholes. But the education system is messed up, Mr. Lusuf. What do you mean? It's not me. It's on behalf of, but at least you've been briefed. And uyakwazi ukungihlonipha nami ngihloniphe ukuthi even after sesingahleka ukuthi this is why we were doing it. So I'm very happy, and I do hope, before we speak about Duduzane, that in time coming, I don't know if it's going to be a tag on the video or where, but to give people a heads up, to be like, this video is going to be education. This video is going to be a debate. This video is going to be a narrative. We invite someone who's maybe trending in the news. So let's talk like, what happened? Just tell us, because we've seen the newspaper articles, we've seen some of the interviews, whatever. This is an invite again to him. Just tell us from your side how you feel, and just let people, we're almost not here. Omandis, I think, had a great platform here to just speak freely. We'll ask here and there, we engage here and there, but just kululega. And if you really enjoy being with us, then you can come back and then we can arm wrestle and whatever. But now you must be comfortable to do that. But we're such a free and comfortable space. Don't fix what's not broken.
I totally agree. And with the Duduzane Zuma interview, I think he's a gent. Even from back in the day when I've
and a gentleman.
When I've met Duduzane, amazing gentleman, very well brought up brother, and without getting into politics, just the man himself. As far as I know him, I don't know him very well,
sure,
to know other things, but the little that I know of Duduzane, even before the interview, I've just always known him to be a good gentleman and an intelligent, young man, very intelligent. Very global in his thinking. He's very well traveled, of course. And I believe that he's smart and he's sharp. I think he treated us well at the interview. I think they showed us courtesy, his team.
Very much.
I think he is a kind gentleman as well. Good interview, bad interview, I wouldn't know. People have got their own opinions out there. And everybody, no matter how the interview is going to be, in my mind when I'm watching TV, I always feel like, why didn't Oprah ask 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why didn't type of thing? And we'll always feel like
Always.
that. And not every question will always be answered.
Yes.
When you're watching, especially an hour's interview. But I didn't know that it'll actually even do well. It's a big interview. I didn't know that it'll become a big interview.
It is.
And then I saw it even, on newspapers.
Yeah,
I saw
it was discussed in newspapers.
Being quoted in different places. But I really do think that it was a good interview. And I think if more politicians can be like that, more opening to to invite people like us to come and ask them whatever we want to ask them, because we're not fighting, we're not on opposite fences. We just want to get to know you, and there's just a couple of questions that we'd like to ask, and that's it. And Tina, we are not very robust in our approach or aggressive,
That time will come, and we'll give people a heads up.
And I also still think it'll happen with respect.
With respect.
I'm not a disrespectful person.
Sure.
And I'm not somebody who's out there to cause any negative friction or tension with people. I would like to believe I don't have any enemies. I'm about building, not destroying.
Sure. Duduzane out, he's a gent. His crew was amazing. I just want to send a shout out to journalists that are watching our platform. And I do welcome all of them, all the journalists. Please watch our platform. Please write about it. For both of us. Again, this is another form of collaboration.
Yeah.
We don't have to fight mainstream media unnecessarily. We've got reasons, fair reasons why we have certain issues with mainstream, the censoring, the bias, etc. Of course. But we're happy to collaborate, man. You want to write articles about what we're doing, good or bad, let's do it.
Yeah.
Some of the journalists would love to invite you onto the platform to come and chat about the space you're in and mainstream. I mean, we invited JJ Tabane, who's on mainstream media, even though he's alternative, and he invited us on mainstream media, to come and speak. So we're very happy for those collaborations. So shout out to journalists, shout out to all the other podcasts who are willing to take sound bites, maybe do reviews of some of our conversations. Even if you disagree, by all means, guys, let's collaborate. You might find yourself here because you keep watching our stuff and you take these clips and you're like, Sbus should have asked this. No, Pen didn't go hard. And you might make a name for yourself just doing that and end up here. We've got a guy like Slick Talk, Trolls, but he's built a name for himself just giving reviews of certain things out there.
And I've seen some people big up to those people. They're not even waiting to be told.
Yeah.
There's some people who are already time-stamping our episodes.
That's beautiful.
I forgot the name. I forgot who it is.
Yeah.
I think they went on to a couple of our episodes. They listened to everything and they've time-stamped them.
Beautiful.
How beautiful is that to give yourself
that's value.
that task and just offer that value even without even asking to be, chosen. You can see this is something we haven't been doing. They started doing it. Let me actually even talk about that. Sorry, without disturbing you too far. That was intentional, guys, for us to not have timestamps. We kind of felt from the beginning of the podcast, let's build it up until a certain level where we kind of feel we've built a following organically, a following that listens to us for us.
Sure.
They're not coming in for timestamps and for sound bites and for headlines. No, they're here for us. And I'm glad the numbers are growing at an alarming rate of the platform. And I hope even Virtual Mkhukhu on its own will grow in that way where we are growing it organically.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yes, it's time now maybe for timestamps. So big up to whoever has given themselves that responsibility to do timestamps. But that was just the reason why we didn't do timestamps earlier. It was intentional, and we kind of felt we want to build a loyal following that listens to us for us.
No, thank you for that. I wanted to say earlier, I forgot to say this.
Sorry,
No, I'm happy I remember the point, so I don't mind.
Sure.
The only problem is, but no, I remember. Thank you, Just. One of the reasons, I don't know if I want to leave this for later, but one of the reasons I want my own platform is because I'm robust. Arguably, depending on who you ask, I can be perceived as disrespectful. And I didn't want to lose that for myself, but I didn't want to bring it here, which is why I created the Penuel show. There's one of the episodes where Mina Nomandis are going hard, and it was a polarizing conversation, but on a very sensitive topic, men versus women, rape, femicide, etc. So it was always going to be sensitive. With Duduzane, what I appreciate with our platform is people begin seeing other human beings in a completely different light, which is power to the platform that we have the ability. You've seen so many interviews and read so many articles. With one sit down with Upen Nosbu, you can literally see umuntu in a different way because we are dynamic. How I understand. I did an interview with Rob Hersoff in Cape Town, and people that were angry with him, some of them are already saying, hey, maybe this guy's not what I thought he was. This is not to say the people that are out there, we're not to say Duduzane is innocent and not to say Rob Hersoff is not white monopoly capital, but it's to show that we are dynamic human beings and we can't always treat people as a block. I can say I don't like it, Red Lasbu. I hope we'll speak about your look.
About my hand, my beard, my trending beard.
I might not like your dreads or your grooming style. Let's put it that way. But I think you're smart. I think you're intelligent. You are. We are not narrow-minded. My whole conversation on Podcast and Chill, I think it liberated a lot of minds and it freed a lot of people to be comfortable with. You know, this guy is reminding us, Uti, we are dynamic beings. It's not just black and white. A guy can be corrupt and can be a good father. A person can be a beneficiary of white monopoly capital and apartheid, but also still give back to society in various ways. And it's up to you now, after you've seen the different components, to then decide for yourself. But at least you're not just shown one light, which is what the mainstream media will do. This guy's bad. How can you say the Guptas were good? And I'm like, but maybe I know hundreds of people that were saying, I could send my kids through school because the Guptas gave me a job. The money could have been from corruption. It could have been from anywhere, but there was a good thing that came out of it. So we need to be dynamic, and I appreciate that. Thank you to Duduzane. I'm hoping we can do work with him. Tlatalax and I have started a push-up challenge.
I saw
you
that.
Guys might see it
I
on
saw a
social
little
media.
kid. I think Tlatalax posted some kid who's joined your push-up challenge.
Sure.
I think the video I saw it this morning.
Shout out to Thomas Sankara.
So we must join.
Shout out to Sheikh Guevara.
You've done only 10. I can beat it now.
Shaya, but camera is up.
When I continue talking, I'll do it here in front.
Shaya,
While you're talking.
I'm gonna be auditor. You have to hit 15.
So how many must I 15?
I'll try 15 is more. Guys, you might not be able to see it, but I'm gonna count. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Come on.
What's my pamphlet?
No, that was so. Yeah, you actually do them better than me. Mina, Mashaya fast. I just want to say, I'm gonna do my own 15 here. I think it's only right that I want to send a shout out to Thomas Sankara. I want to send a shout out to Sheikh Guevara and other leaders that were big proponents of healthy living and exercise. You know, when you look at the South African police services and some of our people were entrusted with security, a lot of them, we need to bring back health.
Yeah.
That's part of the decolonization project.
Yeah.
We need to bring back taking care of our bodies, whether you take herbs, whether you eat organic, whether you're growing your own food, and part of it is exercise. So, Untlantla Lux and I think for Untlantla, it's just coming from your boys' school. He challenged me to push-ups. I was like, sure, if he'll come and play touch rugby with me. So we're doing this push-up challenge. It's not meant to be a big deal. It's just to tell people, guys, there are people that are leading, there are people running podcasts, but we're also looking to influence some of you guys to also take care of yourselves. I wanted to say this because with Duduzane, we're currently having a discussion about our own challenge that is also going to be posed to the people of South Africa, because these are the things we're doing. Svuli podcast, Vulanama podcast, Shai More Fire, set up a business. Siajima, Jimani. What else can we do? Collaboration. I think Shai my 15. Mine are not going to be that great, but yes.
The black pen.
I can't be outdone by Ikehla. No ways.
The black pen is here. Let's go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Your bum must be flat. Yeah, I'm gonna count. Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 19. Yay! Well done, that was dope.
No, shout out to Untlantla Lux. Shout out to you as well. And yeah, man, I hope we can do some cool stuff for Duduzane. And I actually want us to go back to some of our guests and look for collaborations. We're doing Inzalo Yelanga.
Yeah.
with Umkhulu Nsingiza, with Root Boy Paul.
People
People are
got Sis Mandisa
and with Sis Mandis.
into the mix. We're sort of forming this collaboration with all these different people that have been coming here.
People are watching. I hope people are watching and witnessing history and the power of
Collaboration, yeah.
MacG and Saul created the Chillers Market. They're doing amazing things. We can do amazing things as well. I just didn't wear them today. Thank you so much to Theo Baloy for Amapatu. Jeez, that was amazing. Again,
he gave you a nice plan.
Sesikhathele osibube thola amateki bodwa. Aye. So thank you to Theo Baloy for the sneakers and for Ipatu. Again, it's collaboration, value sharing, bartering.
Yeah.
Something that I think is very important. Yo, now I'm also out of breath.
You're out of breath. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, guys. Né? I have to. And people sometimes get pissed off. Why do you have to run to the loo? Because we can. This is a podcast. But I'll leave you with a monologue.
I'm going to chat. What do you want me to
Chat
talk
to the
about?
people.
Must I speak about it?
What do you want to talk about?
I'm going to speak about my trip to Cape Town.
Just 10 minutes. I'm coming.
I want to include you. I'll just speak on my own.
All right, cool.
Which camera am I looking at? Just? Both? Not that one? Okay. I'm going to look in the middle. Oh, yeah, okay. So, the week before last week, I was in Cape Town per invite from Rob Hersoff. So Rob Hersoff is third generation Hersoff legacy empire. His grandfather built an amazing mining company called Anglo Fal with the Manel family. His father ran it, and now Rob is third generation. Studied in Joburg at the Ridge, went to Michael House, went to go and study overseas in America. Then he worked for the media mogul Rupert Murdoch of Fox. From there, he was headhunted by Johan Rupert, and I think he consulted with them on setting up pay TV, I'm not really sure. And he built some businesses in Europe, very successful on his own. Of course, we can speak about white privilege and where his family comes from. But similarly, if you look at someone like Umisu Zulu, for example, who went to St. Charles in KZN, his father was the king of the Zulus. If you look at one of my mentors, Kulufelo Maponya, his father and his uncle, Dr. Richard Maponya, they were also legacy people. So we shouldn't always bash people from where they come from, but we can criticize them on, now that you have a platform, what have you done? So Rob invited me over to meet some of his friends, getting captured, to meet some of his friends, and just to have a conversation with him. I went with him because I wanted to do an interview with him. And in that interview, which I uploaded a few days ago on my platform, Penuel the Black Pen, again, it was just an introduction. Me speaking to Rob about the state of the country, the state of, he's got huge issues with the ANC, and he personally wants the ANC to be removed. I know for some of you, it gets very triggering listening to specifically a beneficiary of white privilege from apartheid days come and tell you the ANC must be removed. He doesn't like the EFF, for example. So he supports the DA, he supports Action SA, Herman Mashaba, he supports Gayton McKenzie. In one of the meetings we had, one of the things that came out, which you may not know, Gayton McKenzie went and he eradicated the bucket system in the Karoo. Beautiful story of without government money, even without his own money, he was able to help people and change lives where people had been waiting for almost 30 years, still defecating. That's a good English for taking a dump in buckets, no flushing toilets. Gayton reached out to Rob Hersoff, or Rob Hersoff reached out to Gayton for the work he was doing. And Rob Hersoff put up his hand to be like, I can help you with this. I think Rob has got a relationship with one of the families that builds toilets, and they made sure that they sent the toilets to the Karoo. You can look at that story however you want to look at. White privilege, yeah, vela belungu, vele they owe us, whatever the case may be. The bottom line is that Gayton McKenzie, an ex-convict who has owned up to his crimes, who has paid his dues in prison, and who is giving back to society, has put his hand up to lead and to be a public servant that serves the people. He is doing amazing work in the Karoo. And he went and he reached out to a beneficiary of white privilege, a family that had built something special. And that person, instead of saying, that's not me, ask your government, I already pay tax. The guy said, I know some people, let me see if I can help. And the poorest of the poor got assistance in that. So those are the type of people I'm trying to have conversations with. Not because I agree with their politics. I generally don't like our political system. Not because I support their race. If you're white, I'm not here to support white people. If you're black, I'm not here to support black people. I'm here to support people that are trying to make a difference in this country. South Africa's got a very well-detailed history, a very emotional history, a very traumatic history. And a lot of the trauma is still carried by a lot of black people. We're at a point now where the ANC, by and large, I think all of us generally agree, has generally failed the people. Our people have become beggars, in essence. Half of the country is on a grant, which means we're not doing for self. I mean, Ubantu Bigo was very much about black people and black consciousness being able to be self-sustaining. Today, you have to beg for a grant. And if you look at where we are economically, politically, I think we need a lot of help. And some of these conversations with the Duduzane, for example, some of these conversations with the guys from AfriForum, for example, some of these conversations with the Herman Mashaba, I'm hoping to upload a conversation I had with Gayton McKenzie himself. It's meant to educate all of you, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your race, educate you on this country and where we are, make you understand what we'd like, and then number one, we have to hold our government accountable, local government, national government, provincial government, and then we have to hold ourselves accountable. And the question is, what are you doing? We might be just having conversations, and to someone it's like, but these guys just talk. But I can promise you now that our talks are leading to real actions on the ground. There is real fundamental change happening on the ground and in the background that you will see as time goes on. Some of your pastors, some of your ward councillors, some of the business people in your area, you guys need to hold them accountable. Because we're giving you money and we're buying from you every day, because we're coming to your church and we're tithing, how can we take this money we're giving you and collaborate and build something special? At some point, people were asking the trade unions. I mean, AfriForum was a subsidiary of Solidarity, which is a trade union. 300,000 AfriForum members paying on average, I think, 150 Rand a month, which comes up to about 45 million Rand. The black trade unions have more members, millions. And the question is, with the money they're collecting every month, what are they doing with that? You're going to see beautiful things happening on the virtual Mkhukhu, happening on the Hustlers Corner with some of the membership money that we're getting. We'll be able to show you. We're seeing the Chillers Market on Podcast and Chill with some of the 10 Rand, 100 Rand contributions on Podcast and Chill. But with the trade unions, with the tithing, with some of the businesses that you support, the Shisanyamas, the car washers, some of the Pakistanis and the Somalians that you support, what are they doing with the money that you're giving them, and how are they impacting your community for the better? So those are some of the things that we're trying to do. That's some of the psychology I'm trying to get to. And if you haven't seen it, please go to my channel, Penuel, the Black Pen. You'll see my conversation with Rob Harrisoff. I'm going to upload my conversation with Gayton McKenzie there as well. And let's engage and collaborate and work together to see how that works. And I know Rob and I have spoken before about doing more conversations. And earlier this year, Sbus had said we need Rob to come into the virtual Mkhukhu. Some of you that saw the conversation with me and Rob were saying, please bring him to the virtual Mkhukhu. So I'm hoping as I also strengthen my relationship with Rob, I'll bring him here. We'll allow him to speak. But then after that, I'm going to collect a lot of these questions that I know a lot of, in particular, black people have for Rob. Maybe he can speak on behalf of Johan Rupert that he worked for, the Manel family. The Harrisoff and the Manel family, the company that they built, Anglo-Fall, a piece of it is what Patrice Motsepe managed to get to build his wealth as well. These are some of the conversations that we need to have about the history of this country and where we are as a people and what exactly are we trying to win towards. And that's what I wanted to say about my trip to Cape Town. Welcome back.
Just as I just looked at myself in the mirror now, I burnt, eh?
Oh, snap.
I'm like, in just 30 minutes of being in the sun, like I went dark. And then obviously my bushy face also.
Sure.
I'm just looking at my beard and I was thinking what you were saying earlier. My trending beard.
Do you still want to say anything about Duduzane? I want to ask about that trend.
About Duduzane?
The Duduzane interview.
You want to ask about
No, I'm asking, do you have anything else to say?
I'm good.
You've trended twice now. This is the second time.
About my job and my food.
Hey, young Bora, man. Because manje, sengi PA yako.
Bora no mama.
Hey, manje, awukhulume nomjida wakho Sbu. This is not it. So you've trended twice now, and I haven't spoken about it officially. And this is why I think I want you to speak about it. You've trended twice for looking like a hobo. Khona abantu bathi, guys, musani uphuza imofaya, niyabona ukuthi yenza nani. Nokugcina senibamba ihlahla la lo eniphuzana namamofaya. Why? Okay, I'm going to represent the people.
Yeah.
Why are you looking so scruffy and so dirty and like a hobo? We know you from friends like these. Sikhumbula fresh, clean, shy Jewish. You know, polishekile. Why manje ususikhotheni Buddha? What's happening?
Wawungathi sikhumbula usifundisa ukugqoka.
Jeez.
Ifundiswe yimi ukugqoka nonke niyazi nani.
Manje ususikhotheni ogqoka ingubo egrey ezokulala.
No,
Zasejele.
man. On a serious note, it's just a personal choice to, you know, just to let my hair grow. I've never let my hair grow. My whole life, Penuel, I've had a cheese cup.
Sure.
Nongabuza indwana engikhule nazo eKaslam. Hakalo ukuthi akasiyaka but bakhotse ngibona but bakeni ngskela libona. Vava libona but bakeni inkotheke libona. People I've worked with, they'll tell you like usibuda cheese cup one way. Mengiyipantsula why all my life, bro.
Always fresh.
And for me, I kind of feel like I've never had hair.
Sure.
And there's just nothing wrong with letting my hair grow. And I'm enjoying it. It's just a phase I'm going through. And I kind of feel I'm comfortable with it. And it's fine.
It's not a midlife crisis.
What is a midlife crisis?
Angazi, mhlawumbe you're trying to find yourself, trying to find meaning.
I'm comfortable with it. I think I do what makes me happy.
Sure.
You know? And leaving my beard uncombed and seeing my gray popping up a little bit.
Sure.
I feel like I'm some Grootmanyan, you know, with some wisdom.
Sure.
Yeah, like I feel free, bruh, you know. I do feel free though. I guess it also has a lot to do with the journey that I've been on over the past couple of years, you know. And in the I did not even intentionally say, "Nyoyeki is cool."
Sure.
Mangale sengiyeka nje ikhula, ngamangala sengiyeka nje intshebe ikhula, nginganankinga.
What journey are you on?
My own personal journey. I don't want to say spiritual journey, but I'm just I'm enjoying life, man. At 43, guys, some of us, guys are fine. We don't work. I mean, I'm unemployed, literally. Yes, you know what I mean. I don't have to go. Nobody pays me at the end of the month, honestly, and nobody tells me how to dress. Even when I go to meetings, I decide what I want to wear.
Sure.
I wear overalls in meetings. My clients don't have any problem with it. And for me, that's just me.
Konaba to Zenzu Jay-Z. You know Basquiat, the artist.
Yeah.
But to Zenzu Jay-Z, Zenzu Basquiat.
Yeah. For me, I'm more inspired by Lucky Dube and Bob Marley before Jay-Z, but I'm also a very big Jay-Z fan. He also inspires me. But yes, my hair has got nothing to do with Jay-Z, although I'm inspired by him. My hair has nothing to do with Bob Marley, although he inspires me. My hair has got nothing to do with the late, great Lucky Dube, although he continues to inspire me till today. It's just my own personal journey that I'm going through.
Baba was Newcastle, shout out, Lucky Dube. Newcastle Matatin.
Always love that man. The first time I started touring in the music industry, I was in Europe.
Sure.
First time seeing a South African artist with over 70 shows booked worldwide.
Jeez.
And we were fortunate to just be booked with him on 5 of those shows, myself and Bongo Muffin.
Yeah.
With my team. And we toured Europe. We did Switzerland, we did Belgium, we did, I think we did Germany, we did a small town called Lipsach.
Okay.
We also did Frankfurt. It was just great to be in the midst, and I was a new artist at the time, in the midst of Lucky Dube, who's like a superstar.
Sure.
And his tour was continuing to Nanasibuye Kaya. He was a global musician.
Superstar.
And I told him at that time, Baba ngizoba njengawe one day.
And you meant it.
Little did I know now, I look at it now, it's many years later, like
prophecy.
When people put up his picture and they put up my picture, I'm like, so Lucky Dube.
Sure.
And it was not even planned. You know, it's just guys, me going through my own journey. And I really think other people who just let their hair grow or who don't comb their beard, they also are going through their own journey. I don't think there's anyone they're copying. And I also understand that other people who might not appreciate it, or other people, because I was just, you know, this well-groomed gentleman who's always in suits, etc. People are sort of like, you know, like when other people who care about me were concerned, are you really okay? Because you know how people are on social media, they go get that picture where you really look. And I remember some of those pictures were taken from a live. And that live, I remember it, it's not so bad, but I think they froze it and screenshot it.
Totally the worst.
And it looked it's believable. You know?
So about well-groomed, you know, people that don't know you personally like I do, you're still groomed. You smell well, you're clean, you're fresh. But shower just the aesthetic.
I know.
I want to know your thoughts on 2 things. Number 1, this is again speaking about your appearance. Number one, seeking external validation versus internal validation. And then number two, the concept of decolonization and African spirituality, just based on how you look.
I mean, I've been learning a lot of things. I mean, over the past few years, I've been learning a lot of, I mean, I can call them in Western language, they would call it grounding, but I mean, it's something that okoko bethu, it's things they're doing. Banokhamba masimini ngeenyawo, banokhamba nje emaplazini wabo ngeenyawo. They would, you know, bathamela umthunzi ngaphansi komthunzi welanga, bathini phansi komthunzi welanga.
Sure, bathamela ilanga.
Thamela ilanga, you know, and
Nasemthunzini.
also just ukuhlala ngaphansi kwelanga and just hugging trees and just understanding how nature operates and how it works. And just finding ourselves, man. I've been a city boy for all of my life. I'm from Joburg, as much as I'm well-traveled, but I'm from Joburg.
Sure.
And I've been staying in suburbs for a very long time. And in Piloyala, Inokdina, that's why we decided to buy a farm. From time to time, I go away, I go to the farm. And it's always nice to be in a farm. You feel refreshed. You feel it's a different environment. You can smell. There's just the quietness there. Ukuba in touch ney'hlahla nemfuyo lesinayo laphana emaplazini. It's a beautiful thing, you know, for one to go through. But also in terms of people leaving their hair, for me, I wouldn't comment on any other person's appearances, but my own. My own is, and I'm not gonna, you know, bore you guys with that whole lecture. No, Africans, this is how you guys know that. You know all of that. I don't even have to educate people about it. People know, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just as I was saying, Abanye, maybe it's because they were just used to this Sbu, you know. And then Abanye and Mhlambe, they were really concerned because maybe they looked at those pictures like, is he really well?
Sure.
Because I also got those calls, I got some WhatsApp, even my business partners. Like, dude, are you really okay?
Sure.
Is everything fine with the family? How are the kids? How's everything, you know? And I obviously have to say, no, guys, I'm good. It's just my own personal choice. I'm just letting my beard and my hair grow.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm good, everything. I'm healthy, I'm fine. But I don't feel also I have to be on camera to explain the type of spiritual journey that I am on.
Sure.
But yes, many people out there, they've been through. Dabadatala actually even know what I'm going through, you know? I don't even have to explain.
Yes.
But I leave it there because I understand that everybody has a birthday. And then as we keep growing as Abantu, when they go through their own journey at some point, it'll be like, oh, this is probably something similar that Sbu was going through. Maybe that's why he was letting his hair grow. Maybe that's why he was letting his beard grow. Because also we do it for different reasons.
Of course.
Other people, it's a religion issue. Other people, it's different reasons.
Shout out to Rasta.
You know what I mean? So I won't say my reasons on camera, but it's so fulfilling. It's beautiful. It's a journey that I'm on. I'm comfortable the way I am. And people who do care about me, I am fine. I'm healthy. I'm good. And I've never been this amazing in my life. I'm content for it.
Yeah.
Unkulunkulu mkhulu, I am content and I'm blessed. I can never be this blessed and billionaire. I mean, my family is good. Ingane zami, they're fine. And I say ingane zami, although I only have one.
Sure.
That comes from me. But I believe I father a lot of kids. You know,
Your dependence and responsibilities.
Yes, sir. And I'm also fathering kids that I don't know out there as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, kids do get concerned as well. Is Uncle Sbu okay? Yeah. Why is he just letting his beard grow? I think it's also a teachable moment for us that understand these things. Let's make young people understand it doesn't mean somebody doesn't bath because they look like they don't shave or they don't comb their hair. It doesn't translate to they don't bath, they're smelling, or they are. Also, I think it's an opportunity for us who are older to teach. I've had this conversation with my daughter a lot of times, you know, where then I have to explain to her, her hair is beautiful the way it is. This is how we work that. And then I'll get into that conversation. And I think for our younger brothers and sisters out there and those that like me who are younger, I think your brothers or your sisters will explain the letting your hair thing, that it's okay the way it is, or letting your beard grow as is, it's fine as is. You'll have that conversation with people that understand it, that will school you. But for me now, I'm comfortable and I'm good. And thank you for being concerned. And thank you, the public, for being concerned. And Mina, by the way, when I trend, I don't feel bad, like I'm getting dragged. I always kind of feel people love me that much.
Yes.
That they feel I'm their bigger brother. They can make fun of me whichever way they like. Yes, there's times sometimes I can be like,
Sebeyabheja
You know what I
manje.
mean? But I mean, I don't mind. I'm like somebody who's been in the public eye for so long that a lot of things I actually don't take offense.
No, that's beautiful. I want to say, I want to send a shout out to Beyonce Knowles and some of the work she's done in the African Awakening Project, sort of. Some of the work with the Black is King. I want to send a shout out to Alicia Keys, who for a long time no longer wears makeup and just has her natural skin out there. Chimamanda, the author, for some of the writings she's done, especially for the Black child, and in particular the Black female child as well. And shout out to everyone who is working harder to move from external validation to internal. We're not going to say that during the times you were well-groomed, you were seeking external validation. But there are a lot of people out there who dress a certain way, groom a certain way, not for self, but to impress others. You know, and it gets to a point, successful, where you don't need that validation that much for other people. That's when people get comfortable, who come back with slops. You look at someone like Mac G. Mac G wears slops because he's not seeking external validation. He's like, I'm happy with the work that I'm doing. I love myself. I love my life. I serve the chillers, and they don't need me to kick on poboza. They don't need me to shy brush card, for example. So for a lot of us that have been colonized in various ways, by the British, by the Europeans, and now self-colonization by Black people, where Black people are now telling you, Kundalente sekanda uko neat. And you ask, who taught you that? Who taught you that looking like a real African is not neat? Who taught you that having a beard means this? Yeah, well, so you're now becoming an oppressor light of sorts. So people need that liberation. And Mkhulu Nsingiza, some of the other great minds we're still going to bring on here. And one of the conversations I had, I don't know if we had it with Umandisa, but I had it with someone else, that guys, you'd be surprised how many white, European, Indian, Chinese kids in various ways are also oppressed and are colonized. That's why some of them are huge fans of people like Kanye West. A Black man, they're like, oh, I love Kanye West. I love Tupac. You're like, but you're white, dog. What do you mean? Because some of these kids are also just victims of the same paradigms we are born into. They're like, I would have loved to grow my hair, but my dad would have slapped me. I would have loved to grow my beard, but my mom would have asked if I'm bathing. So I just want to say, as a white boy, thank you so much to DJ Sbus for telling me it's fine to be myself. You know, there's a lot of Ongamla out there, guys, that are actually oppressed. And some of them, they become racist because Mafundi Siwe, of course. But because Naboba lost, and you might find that you will be the person that will end up liberating Lo Ongamla and change his life forever. And they end up going to liberate others. So I just want to say thank you from my side for being yourself throughout and as much as possible, for going through these journeys, for bringing some of these people that articulate some of these things. Bringing Okoko Dineo, for example. You know, there are a lot of females that are going through callings, umngoma, yotwasa. Some people don't really know what they're doing. Some do. The bottom line is we're having the conversation. We're figuring out the real owners of the land. Walk barefoot. I'm a poon, walk barefoot. Nati, our gokos and our Mkhulu bethu, they would walk barefoot. There's something in that, in hugging the trees, and we need to have those conversations, because don't wait till a World Health Organization and some big conglomerate is saying, we have done some scientific studies that actually show that there's some energy transfer and some therapeutic what in grabbing a tree and just connecting with Don't wait for them, because we can teach you that. Stop seeking that external validation. But I heard it on CNN, but I heard it on...
That's what I always find. And recently, where people are like, actually, you're not crazy about hugging trees.
Yeah.
This is what I read. And then they show me an article just because Sekushumlung.
Of course.
Sekukani but sing right.
We need to move away from that. We need to move away from that.
That's why sometimes I don't have to explain these things. It's like, ish.
My last point, I don't know if you want to say just anything. My last point is...
By the way, now no Jesu so.
Fact.
Let me just leave it there.
Fact.
So now so criticize.
I must actually post.
Criticize uJesu. It's true.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
And it's in Revelations ukuthi inywele zakhe bezinjani. So the way ungibona ngakhona kumele ukhumbule ukuthi ubona uJesu.
Jeez, I must actually repost. I had long dreads in
Are you
tertiary,
serious?
yeah.
You lying.
Fact. Mchebe, I must actually repost those.
Oh wow.
Because when you say people do it for different reasons,
Yeah.
I just stopped cutting my hair. Literally.
Yeah.
I stopped cutting my hair, dry my hair with itawula, it twisted itself. Next thing, Rasta, Chaman. Now be like, hey, no, thank you, but no.
Stop saying, Machitana look up and you go, Chaman, Sbus, Chaman, Sbus.
So I posted one of the training pictures, and I was saying, shout out to my brother Sbus. This was on Twitter. Shout out to my brother Sbus, and then I listed some of the achievements of the things that you've done.
Oh, thank you.
Friends like these, More Fire, TS Records, Unearthing Uzahara, and all the other talented TS Records, the Hustlers Corner, Virtual Mkhukhu, Ekasi Noble Properties, Crypto, some of all these things. And I was just like, thank you so much for constantly teaching us so many things. And one of the things that we might be learning now is the decolonization project, which is fundamentally important. And one of the comments there, because people are how people are, sadly now, was stop simping. So a simp is like a weak man type of a bitch nigger. And my response was, my response was, I'll always simp for my brother. I'll never be ashamed. If they're like, yeah, but you're sucking up. I don't mind sucking up to my brother, sucking up to my mentor. And if one day a Rob Harrisov, some other rich white person, I start doing work with them like I do with Sbus, I'm going to be very happy to say Sbus captured me. Ubanbani captured me. These are my friends. These are my brothers. You can judge us. You can call me colonized and weak and a puppet. I don't mind. As long as the work we're doing, I can point to this is the effects. These are the lives that we're changing. I told you guys earlier, I think Sbus will watch it in the when he catches up. I told you about the collaboration between Gates and McKenzie and Rob Harrisov and them eradicating the bucket system in the Karoo. You can judge us, but we're going to point at the real work that's being done. Oh, in camouflage, when was he in the army? Yeah, sure, chachani, but we'll point to the real work that's being done. Then you can look at the people about Koge the way you think they should be dressed and they talk the way that you want them to talk. But then we'll ask, what work are they doing?
Yeah, because ultimately...
So I just want to say thank you, even though I'm simping. Thank you so much for being an amazing brother and Grootman to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for always being willing to open up and give out information. And guys, we do this intentionally on this platform because we're also trying to encourage other people out there. We affirm each other, and there's nothing wrong with affirming each other.
No scam.
There is no scam at all. And you guys need to affirm each other instead of the opposite. We do the opposite a lot.
Easy to bash.
Very easy to bash.
Twitter. Twitter.
I can even smile with you now. I can turn around the corner. I can easily just turn.
Yeah.
The very same person I was with now, lunchtime today, yeah. But I can even if I will protect you there in your absence. And you don't even have to know.
Yeah.
But it's because of mentally the type of person that we have to wire ourselves to be. Let's affirm each other, guys. What did I want to say? Damn it.
It's fine. Dread. You're dread. Palamisi dread kanje ubambe aerial. Signal izobuya.
But ikibela pes go and yakumbula ma aerial ma truck.
Sure. Sure.
Guys, but we're from far in this
we come from far, and it's a beautiful story, man. It's a beautiful story of where we come from, where we are now, and where we're going. I want to say this. I know I've said it before. I want to say this again since we speak about where we're going. People must not steal their children's struggle. People must not steal their children's struggle. Do not, in saying, I want what's best for my kids, do not steal your child's struggle, because your child's character is built through the struggle. We were forced to struggle in various ways. Our parents were forced to struggle. We're now privileged. In doing that, do not make the mistake of spoiling your children, because it destroys them. It destroys ingane zamabhunu, which I admire very much. Ingane zamasulman Muslims, which I admire very much. The Muslim kids, they go and work in their parents' businesses after school. They go and they do extra maths and extra science after school, even though dad and mom are multimillionaires. Umfana webhunu, he goes to rugby practice, he goes to the farm, you're saying inkomo, akibela mahashi. They go camping, they go hunting. The parents don't steal the struggle. Utaki. Tenda nyana, nice little corporate job nyana, say olu 50,000. Ingane yakhe isiphilele Xbox no FIFA. Ingane yakhe isiphilele Uber Eats. Ingane yasaba uwalker nje stratini. Ingane mawuthi asambisela Ekasi. No, it's dangerous. Isn't my child going to get hurt? Get hurt? What do you mean? Let's go to the farm. Oh, isn't it dirty there to have aircon? How are we going to sleep? It looks dusty. While you're stealing your child's struggle, you're stealing their character and their ability to become strong in future. And all these other races and other groups that are doing well in life, they are making sure that not only are they not stealing their child's struggle, but they create simulated spaces where their children get challenged. They send their kids to the shooting range. They send their kids to the farms. They send George Sombonos of Chicken Licken. His father would make him save money so that at the end of every year, he would travel around the world. He traveled to America alone as Intwana, and he found a recipe for chicken licken that he brought back here. Don't steal your child's struggle and my child must go to the best, what. It's a beautiful thing. We're allowed the privilege. But make sure that your child is also being groomed and they find character. So I just wanted to say that, let Intwana get on the roof, abambi, hang, what. Let Intwana kifundu drive ukandakanda, nomina 5. That's how you build your child, and it becomes a beautiful story.
And we're not saying put them in danger.
Don't put them in danger.
But yes, sometimes they'll fall, they'll get scratched on their knees. Tina bekuthiwa uyakhula. Uyakhula.
Yeah.
Tina, they'll have your older brother, my man, awushiyele isihlako, Mr. Mchasto. Uzakhula naso. I'm telling you, that's how we grew up.
You want to grow into it, it's a fact.
Because then you would have and that's what some of our parents did. They'd just buy clothes for enough because they would know ukuthi lo uhlubulela lo. Because mhlambe badlulana nga 2 years. And maybe their body is a bit, do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. That's how they would say, then uzothatha isicathulo sikabhuti wakho uzawukhula naso. Yeah, and then masifaka amaphepha phambili.
Of course.
That's how we grew up, bro.
That's how we grew up.
You know what I mean?
I love this platform. I love my conversations with you. I really hope sooner rather than later, we have these unpacking sessions where we do interviews, you do interviews on the Hustlers Corner, and then we come here and we gossip about the interview. With
even we break down the interviews.
What we agree with, what we disagree with. I think that's going to be a beautiful thing. I think it's going to be amazing content for the virtual Mkhukhu, where people can watch an interview on the Hustlers Corner and then go and listen to the gossip on the virtual Mkhukhu and what I thought about whatever. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, but I love this. I love this, man, so much, and thank you. And thank you to our members, to our squatters, to the hustlers, to everyone, man, to everyone who watches. Like, you don't even have to be a subscriber. Just for watching, just for recognizing us in the streets, just for giving us ispani. If you want to hire Umchasto out there, your production, your video, we appreciate it. We're meeting you guys everywhere, chilling with our great Chavesi, talking crypto and crazy things. It's amazing, and I really hope all of you, in some way, whether we're doing live talks, whether you become part of the Crypto University, whether you're working with Justice, maybe one day we'll hire you to work as part of crew. Let's collaborate and do work. Even if it's just a push-up challenge where you tag us, or you buy a property from Ekasi Noble Properties, or you push more fire.
When are you buying some land there, bro?
When are you giving me money?
There's some good opportunities.
Yazi mfethu ngikhathele ukuhlupheka. Wesibuda mfethu, yazi sikhulume le ndaba mfethu. Mina ngihlezi ngifika la every week, kodwa ngiyahlupheka.
Mfethu, there's some beautiful land.
Ekuse guys, yazi sibuda angikhaya inyuku la.
Yazi there's some.
Ngicela sibhikishe, so shall I protest?
Your people, Penuelism people must pay you.
Or the Penuelists must pay me.
I think it was
okay. Usbuda doesn't want to pay me, so I'm a Penuelist. And some of the squads ngicela ningikhaya inyuku. Khona usbuda maye ngiphaphela la, ngizobele ngimnyathe ngilande my own pen cola. Ngibeke pen cola la, ngivele ngigcwalisele.
Guys are all family, man, and let's all
so
grow
yes,
together.
I hope I'll invest in some of the properties and get in some of the crypto.
Yeah,
it's time.
There's some good land there. You know what I do, man? As much as I work with the guys as their collaborative ambassador, I also pick up some lands for myself.
Sure.
Know? I'm like, phase 1, I know it's cheaper. I know in a couple of months it'll be quadruple that amount of money. Let me just pick up 2. Let me pick up 1. So from now on, I'll let you guys know. Guys, there's a new one opening up on phase 1. Come on.
Let me invite people, and it's a challenge to you. Please keep telling us when you guys have gatherings, when you visit the properties. You don't have money, I know. I don't have money. I'll tell you a story about it another day. We want to come there.
I don't have a car. At least when I'm on the test, I'm
unemployed.
I don't have a car. Yeah.
Shames. Well, I'll hire you.
I honestly don't have a car.
I'll give you a lift. I'll hire you, man.
And thank you. I'd appreciate
Shame, man.
that.
I'll get you a hair clipper as well.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Sorry, I disturbed you.
Please invite us. Nomas ngena nyugu. Uthi sofunda. Guys, this is what property is. This is what land is. This is what an erf is. This is what a stand. This is what a plot. These are the differences. If you want to fundraise from a bank, this is how you raise money. Do you have a pay slip? Let's have that conversation.
I think so.
If you don't have money, it's about 20, so on 10,000. Oh, then I'll take any stand as a collection, as a stock fair. We can do some of these things.
We definitely can.
You're not interested in crypto? Ozani, just come and meet Usbuda. Come meet Gray, come meet Mkhukhu. At least come and be a groupie. Uzobona while you're there. And if we can, so this is a short story. One of my mentors in Newcastle from the Jamaluddin family, Salam, I love you guys very much. They spread a lot of the Islamic message. And it's part of the work they do for Islam and for Allah in particular. But in spreading the gospel from the Quran, they know that people are hungry, people are poor. So they make sure that they feed people. And you and I have had this conversation about more fire because we need to do work for Slef.
Yeah.
You're slacking.
Yeah. I've been slacking.
You're slacking.
I totally agree.
So he understands the importance of going to feed the kids. And the kids are there for food, nothing else. But while they're eating, then they start being taught some of the holy texts from the Quran. So I just want to say, you might be coming to be a groupie for Sbus, for Mkhukhu, for Gray, for Penuel, the black pen. But while you're there, you're going to learn something. You're like, Bengas, I thought I needed to be rich. No, you can actually you can put some of your money here. You can trade internationally. You can, and we learn. And then over time, also a confidence and maybe a 2,000, nyana, a 5,000, or someone in your family who maybe has a bit of you. Like, I don't have money, but let me put you on. And then we win.
I totally agree.
So yeah, man.
I'm seeing a lot of people buy, we spoke about it, I think, on one of our episodes, I think a few months ago. Banks like FNB opening up and allowing people to buy property in groups of 12 collectively. And it's an easier way to do it like that, And what I love also, the company that I work with, Actionable Property Development, I think for me, their USP being the fact that they accommodate people who are blacklisted to buy from their properties, and their partnerships with other financial services companies, so that people, even their land, even their pieces of land, like their vacant stands, they allow people, even if you don't have an entire 165,000 to buy that piece of land, they can give an opportunity by saying, give us 50K and pay off the rest in 12 months. So they come up with
down payment.
Thank you. They come up with different ways to really, really accommodate their customers. But anyways, obviously that's already a plug that I'm giving them. But it's a beautiful thing because they think for black people who can't they can't afford to buy real estate just because they're blacklisted. And a lot of them...
I wanted to send a shout out to a financial institution, but they must sponsor us first. Please carry on. It's in line with what you're speaking about. There's a financial institution that Ekasi Noble Properties, if they haven't partnered with them, they must.
No, plug them.
No, I'm not going to plug them.
No, they'll pay later.
No, my mentor's a shareholder there. I'm going to speak to him.
Okay.
They must sponsor us here and then do work together.
Oh, okay. That's beautiful. But I like the fact that, guys, they accommodate black people who are blacklisted. Even when you're coming, you don't have enough money to buy this land. Yeah. They find a way to accommodate you. And they even have got a good refund policy. People who kind of feel, no, the estate is not being ready, it's taking too long or whatever. I want my money back. They're very happy to refund you because there's always the next person willing to buy them. Because it's land, Of course. It always has customers. I think maybe we can leave today's episode here.
Before you leave it just on land, land is one of the most sensitive topics in this country, especially for black Africans. Some of the conversations that we need to have, especially as Otak, I know we're very emotional. I know we are deeply traumatized. Deeply traumatized. We need to deal with the trauma. And part of it is conversations about where we come from, where we've been, some of the races, some of the tribes, some of the nationalities we live with in this country. South Africa's, I think, 122 million hectares, I think. So if you divide it by the 60 million people that we have in this country, on an exact basis, each of us, on a fair basis, communism should have 2 hectares each. But we know that a lot of the land, you can't live on it. It's maybe mountain, maybe it's got rocks, maybe it's water, whatever the case may be. So realistically, maybe half to a hectare. If you were to split it directly to each of us, half a hectare, let's say, 5,000 square meters. That's never going to happen for various reasons. Some companies need more land, some people work harder, etc., etc. I think the conversation we need to be having as black people is, as a family of 4 or 5 people, what is a good amount of land to have? To then say, we actually have land in this country. So it might be 200 square meters. If it's 200 square meters, if it's 500 square meters, as an example, how do we then acquire it? Do we go to government and do we go and apply? Maybe we can actually get some restitution, land restitution. We can go and there was land that was actually taken from our families. Do we work as a family? Can we maybe actually fundraise and go buy land as a family? Can we lease? Sometimes leasing is good enough, 100-year lease, whatever. Because you want to use the land, maybe to farm, maybe to live there, whatever. You can always extend it later. How do we acquire land so that when people say, black people don't have land, you can comfortably say, my family has land. So when you guys say, we want land, you're like, my family has now been liberated. We actually have 1,000 square meters. I know many black families with hectares, hundreds of hectares, some thousands of hectares.
Yeah.
Now that family is going to say, but black people don't have land. No, you guys are fine. If anything, you probably have more land. You should be sharing some of your land with other black people as a lease or whatever the case may be. So we need to have that conversation of how much land is a fair amount and then how do we acquire it? And then after we acquire it, the conversation is then what do we do with it, for it to be productive. We speak about financial freedom along with the land. Do we even know what we mean? You might be financially free times 100. But then we have a conversation, we need to be financially free, we need to be... And then you find out if you look at the richest white people, Sbus is richer than the richest white people. So he's got financial freedom. Do we have financial freedom and what does it look like? Is it 20,000 Rand a month? Is it passive income? If you go to first world countries, you find that the people there, all of them are working. They don't have passive income, but you call them financially free. So is it is it owning a paid off home? Is it owning land? What is financial freedom as a conversation? And then realistically, as an individual, as a group with your circle, work towards that. And then say, hey guys, like we speak about being debt free. I am now debt free. I am now financially free. I now own land. So yes, I know I need to help so many other people in the country and in the world. But Mina, when you speak about colonization, no ngamla. Guys, I'm out. Mina seng grand. Seng asiza nina ke. I think that would be a beautiful thing, and that's going to be my closing.
We must have that conversation. Before we close, we must not forget there's a new Miss SA. And,
yes, shout out to the new Miss South Africa.
Ndavino Kerry. Ndavino Kerry is our brand new Miss SA. Congratulations, sister. And congratulations to all the young girls out there that really feel they're worthy, they're capable, they are talented, they are beautiful, they are amazing. You are amazing, you are worthy, you are incredible, you are so awesome. I saw so many beautiful girls when I was watching the, Miss SA 2022. And two of the girls are actually mentor. I won't say their name, but I was very, very proud. As a Grootman, just seeing my girls do their thing there, One of them made it to the top 3.
Beautiful.
I was just very...
People are going to do the numbers now.
Ingozi zami ngiyabona intwana zabo mrapper seziyabashela ngiyaba-advise ngithi it's about to get crazy now. Guys, your DMs are about to get hot. And their DMs have started, but I'm just very, very proud of you guys. Congratulations, keep growing, and a big congratulations once again to Ndavino Kerry. Don't forget the name, Ndavino Kerry.
Congrats to our younger sister.
Yeah, so
if you very young girls,
if you get asked questions, who's our 2022 Miss SA? It's
Ndavi. I didn't get the surname.
Nokeri.
Ndavi Nokeri.
From Limpopo.
From Limpopo. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
From Kasi. Sure. So congratulations. I think let's end it there. Hopefully a lot of young girls were inspired by watching the event. I saw a lot of, I didn't go, but just watching on social media.
I haven't seen it. I need to catch up. I just saw the headlines. Yeah. We do have a new Miss South Africa, Undavi.
I saw a lot of incredible women, ex-Miss SAs. I saw Sis Mambasi. I saw the likes of Abo Bonang, Abo Claire, even older women who went there in their numbers to go support the new generation of young, emerging, amazing South African girls who are going to be holding it down in the game soon. Some of them will become it girls. Some of them will become...
Some of them will become entrepreneurs, businesswomen, change the world.
Businesswomen.
Yeah, and we invite all of them to come and join us on the virtual Mkhukhu.
Actually, that would be dope.
Just have conversations, yeah.
I think I'm going to speak to my girls and find out their rules with Miss SA so we can, have them here.
Sure. Either here or the Hustlers Corner.
Yeah. We'll have them both or either, or it doesn't matter, So Oh, Justice at least is married. That's fine. My girls are safe.
I'm one man. I don't even want people to see my face. Ghost boy.
Ghost boy.
And
Jeez.
he's a Limpopo boy.
Jeez.
Shango size 13. Shango mlega.
Jeez.
I love you guys. I'll see you on the
Thanks a lot, guys. We're out. The virtual Mkhukhu.
Sure. Mr. Tonga man. Uzapaka sklari, boss. Udisa sklari. Sure.
This is the Hustler's Corner.